WhatsApp, Telegram, groups, Facebook pages, Facebook groups. All right, in case you can't hear me, but I'm pretty sure you can hear me, right? Because I'm Cuban and I'm loud. Welcome to our incredible webinar with Steve Skidger. I want to give you 2 more minutes, guys. We're on Facebook Live, so go to my Facebook page. I also put the link here in the chat. Greetings to Korea. Somi. Man, Korea's in the house, and it's 1 a.m. over there. We got VJs in the house. All right. We got Estonia's in the house. Margaret is in the house. But Beck, I got you, man. I got you. I can spin those. I don't even know what to do, man. I have no idea how to be a DJ, but Beck, you are the DJ here. But you got 2 minutes, guys. Invite, put the message out there, WhatsApp groups, just to find a reminder. You know, sometimes we forget things. So as a final reminder, go to the Facebook page that I posted here in the chat. Copy that link, open it on Facebook, like it, share it in your pages, in your groups. It's a public event. Also, feel free to share the Connect link. We have more and more people logging in from all parts of the world. Let's go. All right. Greetings to Babek. Greetings, Somi from Korea. Korea is in the house. Asil is in the house. All right. We got Kristen from Estonia is in the house. Barbara from the Virgin Islands is in the house. Jerry's in the house. VJ's in the house. Margaret, superstar, brand new marketing director and Fast Start Award winner, is in the house from the UK, originally from Estonia. Maria Briggs is in the house. Hello, Maria. Hello, how are you? Katre is in the house from Estonia. We got VJ. We got people from all parts of the world. We got people here from Nur-Sultan, Kazakhstan. I love Nur-Sultan. I love it over there, man. Those people are great. Did an amazing event with them there last year. Welcome. The Kazakhs are in the house. Dave Hudson. Super Dave Hustlin. Hudson is in the house. David Vega from Argentina is in the house. Dilcia from Brooklyn. Brooklyn's in the house. Felix Correa from Puerto Rico is in the house. We got more and more people from all parts of the world. Estonia is in the house. UK is in the house. Norway is in the house. More people from the U.S. Judy is in the house. Kristen, Katre. My grandma is sitting in front of me right now. She's looking at me like, what is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this kid? Did we not raise him correctly? Why is he always yelling? Maria Briggs is in the house. The great record breaker, Michael Langto, is in the house. Mike Potter's in the house. Sharon from Cape Town, South Africa. Sharon is in the house. How you doing, Sharon? All right, so make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram here. Let's stay connected at Reachable. Get it? Reachable, but A-B-E-L, not A-B-L-E, at Reachable. Yes, I'm very proud of that name. I chose it myself. Follow me on Instagram so we can stay connected and strong. I'm going to give you just 1 more minute now. We're getting started, man. We're getting started. Let me play a little bit more of my music. Get you guys pumped up. But back, you got to send me some cool tunes, man. Send me some of your mixes so that I can use them on the webinar, man. I need all the help I can get. I mean, I got a lady in pink leotards on my screen right now. This is embarrassing. But back, help me out. Let's go. Troy Van Dyke is in the house. VJ's in the house. All right, let me open this presentation. Let me look for Steve. I want to look for Steve right now. Let's not forget about Steve. He is our guest, special guest. All right, Steve. I'll make you a presenter now. Go ahead and in a couple of minutes, I'll have you open your camera. But Steve, you are now a presenter. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Get our people in here. Facebook Live, connect. Let's do this. Right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go. Mom Cole is in the house. Ina's in the house. Diego is confused. He's waiting for Spanish. All right. All right, enough of that. We're professionals, guys. We're not here to have fun. We're here to talk business. No, I'm just kidding. inCruises is all about fun. Thank you for joining us. I want to go ahead and start the recording here. Again, we are on Facebook Live, so go to my Facebook now, Abel Prieto, and get that link. I'm already at 5,000 friends, plus another 3,000 followers, but you can still follow me even though we can't be friends. That way we stay connected, we stay strong. There is strength and unity. And then get that link and share it on your pages, share it in your group, share it on your own profile on Facebook. These are exciting times. These are extraordinary times. And then follow me on Instagram. I got people all the time telling me, hey, boy, you know, what group can you put me in so that I'm up to date with everything you guys do in English? And I'm just telling you, man, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. I put everything there. So let's go ahead and start the recording. Yesterday, I forgot to record the Russian webinar with Steve. But that's fine. My apologies for that. It's on Facebook Live, recorded forever. So you can, if you guys have some Russian speakers, we have the great Camelia Konopianova translating Steve's schedule. All right, welcome. We are recording in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to our webinar. But I am not forgetting to record this one. If you guys want to catch yesterday's webinar with Steve and the Russian team and the Russian speaking team, we have the great Camelia Konopianova translating. You got that on my Facebook Live, even though I failed to record it. My apologies for that. I want to welcome everyone for being here today. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to go for about 45 minutes to an hour. And actually, there's no translating this time, so it'll probably be less than that. But, man, these are extraordinary times. I want to welcome everyone, man. We got people here from all parts of the world. We've got people here from Norway, the great Babek, brand new marketing director. We got Barbara from the Virgin Islands. We got Argentina is in the house. We've got Peru is in the house. Philadelphia is in the house. We got Nur-Sultan, Kazakhstan. Right now it is 10 p.m. in Kazakhstan. Welcome, Bayan from Nur-Sultan, Kazakhstan. We've got Argentina is in the house. More people from Norway. The great Dave Hustlin from Fort Lauderdale, Florida is in the house. We got Dilsa from Brooklyn. Brooklyn is in the house. We've got Fabio from Italy. The great Fabio just did an amazing webinar with him and the Italian team just a few days ago. We got Felix from Puerto Rico is in the house. We got Russia, Moscow, Russia, Irina. We got the Russians are in the house, people. I'm telling you, man. We got Joel Talavera, the great Joel from Miami, Florida. Hialeah, Florida is in the house, man. The greats have come out today. So again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We're going to get started. It's my pleasure to introduce to you our brand new global resources director, Steve Schedule. Steve is an amazing person. Actually, the more I get to talk to him, the more I listen to him. Every time, this is the third webinar I do with Steve, and every time he's speaking, I'm taking notes. By the way, guys, you're only allowed in the webinar if you've got some hand sanitizer. So I just want to make sure you guys are ready with some hand sanitizer. I don't want anyone giving anyone nothing. So look, I'm ready. Make sure you're all cleaned up. I hear this thing goes via Wi-Fi signals. I'm just kidding. But the more I listen to Steve's schedule, the more I realize what an incredible leader he is. And he is really the perfect person at the perfect time. He is a 30-year cruise and travel veteran. If he could do me the favor and come online and turn on your camera, Steve's schedule is really the perfect person for what we're going through right now. As a matter of fact, what Steve's main job is, Steve Schedule's main job is to make our product, your product, better. Can you believe that it can get better? I didn't think it could, but guess what? At inCruises, it's all about constant and never-ending improvement. Kanai, Steve, I can see you. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I do. Loud and clear.
All right. Steve's like too loud, Abel, too loud. Bring it down. You're at a 10.
Yeah,
I'm at a 5. But his job is to make your product better. And as tough as it is to think that's possible, Steve is actually the person to do it. Again, he's a 30-year veteran. I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'll let Steve tell his story. 30 years in the travel and the cruise industry, and there are things he knows about travel and cruising that we don't know. That's why he's the perfect person. And by making your product better, he makes your opportunity better. By making your opportunity better, he's going to make your bank account better. He's going to make your business stronger. He's going to help you achieve your goals and your dreams. So again, a 30-year veteran. So Steve, that means that you got started in the world of cruising and travel at 5 years old. No, you were about 5 years old when you got started?
Yeah, 4 actually.
4. Okay, there you go. So it's my pleasure and my honor, my privilege to bring onto the virtual stage our brand new Global Resources Director, the great Steve Schedule. Steve, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Abel. That's quite an introduction. In the end, I'm a regular guy, just like everybody else. 5 fingers on each hand, 5 toes on each foot. Nothing different. Just some experience and something that I'm very, very passionate about, which is cruising. I was asked to join. Actually, I volunteered to Frank, saying, let me know how I can engage with the partnership and the membership. I've been here, a month and a half now, and it's time I start talking to the field. And so it just kind of happened that it's in kind of the craziest times that we've ever seen in the world. And here I am, very excited to talk about cruises, and there's not any ship sailing anywhere. But we'll talk a little bit on how that's going to change and why I think it's going to change and what that's going to look like once it changes. So anyway, I broke this down into kind of several blocks. First one is, who am I? Who is this guy Steve, and why am I here at inCruises? I have a title of Global Sourcing Director. I guess what that means in layman's terms is I'm just responsible for bringing in and optimizing the products that our membership gets to enjoy, right? And right now that is 15 different cruise lines. And that's coming from a company that we're sourcing that largely from a company I used to work for the last over 14 years. As Abel said, I've been 30 years in the travel industry. I have always had cruise kind of under my wing, even though I've had other responsibilities, sometimes much larger portfolios than what the cruise portfolio was. I've been on over 100 cruises, and I'm very humbled and I'm blessed to be able to share that statistic. I mean, I've seen a lot of changes in the industry. This graphic that's on the slide right now is the first cruise I went on. I'm not that old. I mean, that ship was built in the 30s, but my first cruise was in 1989, in December of 1989, on a 2-night cruise out of Miami on this beautiful ship, which was the Chandris Britannis, which is also a artificial reef in the bottom of the ocean right now. But in its time, it served a great purpose. In World War II, was a hospital ship for the American troops, and then through the late 70s and 80s was one of the initial ships for the Chandris family out there. By the way, the Chandris family is what now is known as Celebrity, and rolls up under the Royal Caribbean brand. When I first got involved in cruises in 1989, I was a salesperson. My job was to talk to potential cruisers on the phone. I worked in a travel agency, but the only thing we did was cruises. We couldn't book a flight for you. We couldn't book a hotel for you. Couldn't book a rental car for you. Only a cruise. We were selling before the internet was a thing as far as researching and booking. So we would place ads in the newspapers and all over the U.S. and 40 to 50 major markets. The phones would ring, and my job was to convert those into a vacation for somebody. And that was a company called Cruises Only. While I was there for 10 years in senior management, I helped take that company to the NASDAQ to be publicly traded. Since then, it's come back private, but it was quite an accomplishment to help a small, when I joined 12 people in an agency, grow to when I left there 120 million in sales and publicly traded on the NASDAQ. From there, I did a short stint of 5 years Global Travel International. This was a home-based travel agency network. So we were kind of a host agency for that and built Cruise from zero to hero. It was about 20 million by the time I left in 5 years. And by the way, it only took 4 years for inCruises, really with nobody steering the helm for product, to grow to that volume. But the last 14, almost 15 years of my life, I spent at Tarico Holidays, which was integrated or merged with Hotel Beds in 2000. I started in 2005 and joined, and we integrated. We were acquired by a private equity firm in 2017, and integrated with Hotel Beds. And for Hotel Beds, the last thing I did there was running all of what we called Beyond the Bed products. Hotel Beds is a large intermediary selling accommodations globally, all over the world, the biggest as far as the wholesale market goes. And I dealt with everything that was not a hotel room. So that was cruise, that was theme parks, that was sightseeing activities, food immersive tours in cities, rental cars, things of that like. And I had the good fortune of working with inCruises, or at least the ownership of inCruises during that time, as they were sourcing the cruise product that is in the booking engine today, from Hotel Beds. Started with Tarico, but then merged into Hotel Beds. So inCruises, I've been in inCruise. I've joined inCruises in February 12th to be exact. So we're approaching 2 months, and probably 3 weeks after starting there, all of this madness started. Why inCruises? Why did I join inCruises? I probably had a lot of places that I could go, but when I was told, I reached out to Frank to let him know. I wanted him to hear it from me that I was going to be leaving. It was just kind of destiny that perhaps I joined inCruises, because they were looking for somebody in a role to really be the advocate to the industry for inCruises. I've worked very closely with Frank and Hutch and Laz on the support side over the last 4 years. When inCruise started, they integrated through an API. So that means there's a electronic pipe bringing all of these products, these 15 cruise lines, all the rates, all the availability into the inCruise platform. And then those are organized in the search parameters that all of our members can utilize when they're looking and researching cruises. I felt inCruises was a unique model. I didn't see anything out there like that. There are vacation clubs, there are network marketing companies, but nothing that had the value proposition that inCruises did. A tangible product that isn't marked up to pay commissions, that is helping people enjoy life, maybe improve their lives by saving money through one of the most popular vacation methods there is. This is also providing an alternative distribution mechanism for the industry. The cruise lines, they work with groups. These are, fraternities, they're military groups, there's employee groups, there's incentive groups from corporations. They work with travel advisors, all the standard travel agent community that goes from the little mom and pop store that you walk into and look at a brochure and somebody starts talking to you about a cruise. Maybe they've been on one, maybe they haven't been on one, to the large OTAs like Expedia out there that just deal in volume and really don't want to talk to you, but they give you a good booking engine to book with. So the cruise lines, this is reaching a market in a segment of the market that they wouldn't get to otherwise if they were not partnered with inCruises. And there's, inCruises, it's remarkable. The statistics are north of 95% of first-time cruisers. I imagine many of the people on the phone when they joined inCruises maybe were a first-time cruiser as well. But this is this is nirvana for the cruise industry to get first-time cruisers on board their ships, because cruise is like an annuity to a travel agency, to a cruise line. Once somebody goes on a cruise, almost always they will go back, not once, twice, 3 times, 5 times. So I saw this as a great upside to an organization that is very exciting, high energy, global, which I really enjoy, working with multiple cultures. And this was a perfect runway for me to continue to do that. Over the 4, almost 5 years of working with inCruises, I mean, I worked hand in hand with Frank and with Hutch, and trying to grow that business. And we have in accounting terms, compound annual growth is a statistic to see how healthy you are as far as growth. 545% over 3-year compound annual growth, which is, I mean, anybody looking at financial statistics, this is fantastic. And this is why one of the reasons I wanted to join. I wanted to be part of a growing organization. I don't want to be stagnant. And the cruise lines, I mean, when I started talking to them and bringing these type of performance demonstration, they want to partner with us. They want to give us opportunities. I think the next 2 points are kind of the intangible aspects. Hutch and Frank are genuine. They're real. They are out there, as friendly as can be, as astute and intelligent as they are focused on improving the lives of others through inCruises. And I truly believe that. And culture is so important to me. It makes the saying that we've all heard, maybe not. If you love what you do, it's not work. I mean, it's like a hobby. And cruise for me is I'm so passionate about it. I went on 4 cruises last year, 6 cruises the year before. Some of these are trade functions, but if I'm going to go somewhere, I try and go make sure it's going to be on a cruise. Okay, where are we today in the pandemic? The cruise this isn't the first rodeo like this that the cruise line and the cruise industries have seen. In the time that I've been involved in the industry, we've had the 9/11 attacks in New York and in Washington, D.C. We had the financial crisis in 2008. We've had SARS, heavily in the Asian market. On the heels of the financial crisis, we had the H1N1 swine flu. We had Ebola in 2014. All of these health and financial crises have impacted the cruise lines in some way. And I can recall at the end of 9/11, I mean, they really were giving cruises away to try and get people on board to get overcome that fear that it's okay to travel again. And cruises were safe. So now we have COVID-19, and to me, it's and I'm sure to everybody, it's extremely frustrating. It's very sad the amount of people that the lives that are being taken. I never in my lifetime thought I would ever see the world shut down, and this is what's happening. But the travel, as well as many other industries, it's not alone in this, is very resilient. And travel will rebound. Travel is so important to the well-being, the learning, and the experiential life that we all want to have. So there's many reasons why many forms of travel will return. And the cruise industry, I think, is poised to do that. They're hemorrhaging right now, but they've done a great job, most of them, the big ones, with liquidity and setting themselves up to ride this out well into 2021. That doesn't mean that ships are going to be parked until then. I think that we'll see the ships start sailing sooner than later. There might be some pockets of areas that don't start up right away. We're already seeing that, for example, in Alaska. Port restrictions are not allowing the cruise ships to return, so they're starting in July in Alaska instead of typically they would be starting in May. But I feel strongly, and I think that all the leaders in the industry of these brands of Royal Caribbean, of Carnival, of MSC, of Norwegian Holdings products are all determined to bring cruising back. Quite confident that it will. And the big question is when, right? And we need to see this sooner than later. Why is cruising going to be resilient other than, the determination out there? As I mentioned, travel is so important to all of us around the world. Doesn't matter what age and really what economics you have. It is the number one discretionary spend. People of disposable income, people will spend money to go see something somewhere, experience something. Cruising has a superior value over many other forms of travel. When you compare it to a land-based vacation, whether that's 3 nights or whether that's a week or whether that's possibly 10, 14 nights, you're typically in a hotel, you have your hotel costs, you have your food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you have your transportation costs if you're visiting multiple cities like you would on a cruise, and all of this is known up front at a better value. And there's lots of data out there that validate that the value that you pay for the cruise can be 60% of what you could pay somewhere else. Cruising has the highest customer satisfaction ratings among all types of vacations. So why wouldn't people go back on cruises? There's going to be, some caution. And I think that goes through all our minds. There are some people that, like myself, I'm looking almost every day what the prices are on some of the cruises that are starting up in May and in June. And, which one will I get on? Because I want to go on one right away. I want to show and convince the industry that it's okay. But there will be some caution because not everybody feels that way. But some of the studies, and I'm happy to share these at another time, show that there's a good segment of the population that will return right away. There's some people that will never go again. That's probably less than 10%. And some that will be anywhere from a couple months to within a year that they'll jump back on a cruise ship. So what are we going to see, as these ships return to sailing? And I think this is repetitive after some of the other crises. We're going to see some downward pressure on pricing. We're going to see some really attractive deals. So maybe what your cruise dollars bought you on one 7-night cruise before could get you 2 7-night cruises because of the downward pressure on pricing. And there will be a bottom price where it helps overcome fear, so long as there's safety. This is going to become a big factor in the cruise industry. And I think the cruise ships are in a position to really ramp up the safety there, and so that people will feel secure and won't be afraid to go on a ship. Some of the things that we've already seen before the cruise lines stop sailing, and there's several of them that are announcing that they're going to come out, are things like a much more rigorous health screening to get on board. So for example, in the past, of those of you that have been on a cruise, you filled out a little form that said, have you had a temperature in the last 7 days? If not, sign here and turn in the form. Let's face it, that's not really a robust screening. So there will likely, for the elderly who are more susceptible to infections, have some sort of health certificate that they're going to have to present, that they're fit for travel. They don't have underlying diseases or respiratory issues. For everybody who's going to board a ship, there's going to likely be a temperature screening, a touchless temperature screening. And if you have a slight temperature, doesn't mean you can't get on, but there will be a deeper look into some potential testing before you can board the ship. Crew members are going to likely be screened for their temperature twice a day, every single day, because it's one of the easiest ways. If a crew member's sick and they engage with passengers, this is a way that we can see that spread. So the industry wants to protect passengers and the crew and keep everybody safe. Self-serve buffets, we all love them. You're likely not going to go up there and grab a spoon or a fork and put a pile of food onto your plate. Somebody's going to have to dish that pile of food out for you. You just think about your hand picks up a spoon, the guy behind you picks up that spoon, the guy behind them picks up that spoon. It's very easy to communicate, anything that might have some contagion in it. So we're going to see that change. We're going to see capacity of rooms change. So these are just some of the things that the cruise lines are going to have to be innovative to bring back that safety, and they will. They're committed to it. Some of the things are already happening while they're all parked in ports and floating around outside in the ports. By the way, I live in Cocoa Beach. I've been in Orlando for 30 years and moved to Cocoa Beach a couple of years ago. And every time I walk outside to take a look at the ocean, there's 4 or 5 cruise ships just sitting there offshore. It's a very strange sight. And as much as I like seeing them and they're beautiful lit up at night, I want to see them moving. I don't want to see them parked there. So that's a little bit on why I think cruising will return, and why passengers are going to embrace going back on cruises. What are we doing at inCruises? At inCruises, we're really trying to protect the fiscal health of the organization, and we are determined to ride out this storm. We have good liquidity inside the organization. It means that we're not going to stop paying anybody anything, and whether it's commissions and bonuses, and this is all Hutch and Frank have taken great fiscal responsibility, and some of the decisions that we make will surround protecting that fiscal health. We took a decision as an organization to refund all of these cruise line driven cancellations. So everything, for the most part, these have been March 14th through May 10, 11, some of them all the way through the end of May. And the option that the cruise lines were offering was taking a full refund for everything paid, or to just change your date to some other future date and take a future cruise credit. And we felt the best choice was for the inCruise membership to put all those cruise dollars back and any out-of-pocket money back in your bank account, so that you can choose when and what you want to cruise on in the future, and not be tied down by a future cruise credit on when you have to book it by, what area that you have to actually travel in. Some of them have those restrictions on them. When you have to actually cruise by. This gives you the freedom to choose any line in the portfolio for your next cruise. You can do multiple cruises, shorter cruises, if instead of the longer one, do a different itinerary, and put those cruise dollars back in your bank account to use them when you're ready to do it, and not when the cruise line's telling you to do it. And I think there are some people that are selecting the future cruise credit, but cruise lines are refunding at a record pace right now, because people feel the same way we felt about the refunds. I, in particular, am going to leverage our value to the cruise lines. Right now, we work with hotel beds, so I don't interact directly on behalf of inCruises with the cruise lines, but I have deep and strong relationships with many of the senior leadership, especially in the sales community at the cruise lines. And I'm architecting kind of a three-way. Let me work with the cruise lines on kind of the marketing and the things that we can do about, and the articulating our distribution and the uniqueness of that, and let hotel beds fulfill that, because they are the pipe. It's one API that we get all these 15 lines from through hotel beds. So, I will be doing a bit of a roadshow with the cruise lines to talk to them about why we're special and why they need to partner with us through hotel beds. And then I will bring pricing and value-added tactical promotions in the effort to drive this rebound. Right? What do I mean by a value-added tactical effort? Right? So, many of you maybe have seen them in your localized communities. That with this particular cruise and this booking window, you're getting some extra. You're getting some add-on, whether that's a beverage package, whether that's a onboard credit or funny money to spend on board the ship. You could use it in the casino. You can use it in the gift store. You can use it in the spa. Maybe there are certificates for the spa that can be used. So there's a lot of these value adds out there that keeps pricing competitive. But when we need to move the needle, and because we have a closed user group with the inCruise membership, this becomes a very attractive distribution model for the cruise lines to work with. They just don't know that yet, and this is what I'm here to tell them. This is my mission. So speaking of mission, what's my aim over the next year is to bring the best cruise products around the globe at the most competitive prices, so that all of us can cruise smarter and enhance our lives through travel and the lives of others. one of the things that I'm pleased to tell you is I've put together a deal with Frank and with our tech team to begin integrating to a new platform so that we can bring more cruise lines that we're not getting through hotel beds right now to our platform. There's probably another 15 to 20 cruise lines out there that are available through an API integration or JSON or XML language. And we want to bring those into our platform so that we offer more choices. Those can be river cruises. Those can be some of the smaller localized cruise lines like AIDA and Pullman Tour, Virgin Cruise Line. So these, it's not something that's going to happen overnight, but this is, one of the directions in parallel that as we're getting through this pandemic crisis, that we can begin to work on this and with the tech team. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Shed a little bit of light on who's this guy Steve and what's he doing and what's his DNA. And I'm happy to take some questions if time permits. Abel, I'll let you maybe lead that.
Thank you so much, man. That was awesome. And that's great information, man. I think this is exactly what the team wants to know and wants to hear. So I'm looking through the chat here, looking for some questions. So some of the cruise lines that you see, obviously nothing is guaranteed, but that you see us bringing on the website could be cruise lines like Virgin, like AIDA, like Pullman Tour. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. In fact, I just made a contact this week with Pullman Tour to start getting that registration done, and then we want that is likely to be the first one that we bring through the new platform. I don't think we've started writing the code. We've done the commercial agreements to bring it in, but rather than start with something that we already have, I think it makes a lot of sense to bring on the new ones.
Awesome. And based on what you're saying, it sounds like you see the cruise lines pushing prices down. I love the way you phrased it, I think yesterday, where you said they'll find a price point that will eliminate fear. Right. I love that. I think that's, so you feel like that's where the cruise lines would be headed?
Yeah, I think we're, as I was saying, downward pressure. We're going to find that price that will overcome fear. And not that people should be afraid, but let's face it. I mean, people are hesitant to go to a grocery store right now. No problem going to the liquor store, I think, in many cases, but in the grocery store, people think if they drink alcohol, I guess they're going to be, it's going to be a blocker. I don't know. No.
Hey, let me tell you something, Steve.
All kidding aside, it's there's the fear is real, and we're an intelligent race, and we can overcome this. There's lots of smart people, smarter than all of us here, that are going to keep us safe and keep us healthy, and it's just going to take a little time to find that.
All right. Hey, I went to the liquor store yesterday, and I was able to buy gloves and masks at the liquor store. So, liquor stores are good. They're a good place.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. They're talking about, let me see, I'm getting some questions about river cruises. That might be also coming down the pipeline. Is that a possibility?
Sure. Yeah. Likely, the AMA waterways, Avalon, Viking, these are all available through this platform.
All right, beautiful.
But every one of them is different, so it's not like you get one cruise line. There's a lot of work that goes behind bringing in a new cruise line. I mean, yes, we have one pipe, and it's all a standardized code that comes in for rates and availability. But there's all this static content that comes through. I mean, think about all the images that you see and the descriptions and all the, there's just a lot of design work to get that, baked into the booking engine. So I see a question there. It looks like somebody said about packages. So when we talk about packages, we're not talking about, a fly drive package, or a package that is inclusive of a hotel. I don't think that's on the radar this year. But when we talk about value add amenities, this is something that the the cruise line offers on board, and we want to, that typically there's an expense for, and we want to leverage that, hey, if we can move the needle with bookings for this period of time, how about giving us the gratuities prepaid, complimentary for the month of April for all the bookings that we're doing on Royal Caribbean in the month of April, right? So that there's opportunity for that out there, and we just haven't, with inCruises and with hotel beds, or through hotel beds, haven't leveraged that. And so I'm quite confident that I'm going to be able to do some of this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Steve, how about out of the 100 cruises that you've been on, what's been your favorite? Do you have a favorite or one that sticks out, or at least in your top 5?
Yeah. Okay, so one of the most unique was a river cruise in Europe. I really enjoyed that. I think the small ship experience, where by 4 o'clock that afternoon, they know what you like to have as a cocktail, and they know where you like to sit at the dinner table, and they know what you like to eat. So it's really a high touch, personalized experience. One of my favorite cruise lines is Celebrity. I think they're awesome.
Nice.
I did a New Year's cruise on the Celebrity Edge. And it was phenomenal, fantastic ship, and something very unique about that ship. And with Celebrity, they have the first female captain in the world.
Oh, wow. No way.
Captain Kate McHugh. And I would encourage you to go on Instagram and follow her, because she's put some interesting stuff out there.
No way.
She really gives you a window into what it's like to be an officer on the ship, especially what they're going through right now as the ship's just docked.
Oh man! All right, beautiful. I gotta follow her. You said her name is what? Kate?
Yeah, Captain Kate McHugh, McCue. Let me see if I can pull it up.
You mind writing it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting follow. All right. Okay, they're asking for the name. He's going to put that in the chat, guys. Again, thank you guys for being here, man. We've got people from everywhere. We've got people from the States and countries from all around the world that are getting excited about the moment that's coming. About the moment that's coming. You know, the old expression, when regular, normal people see a crisis, a leader sees an opportunity, and Steve is definitely that type of leader that sees the opportunities that are coming in the very near future. All right. Okay. I think Estefania Rico put it in the chat as well. I think that might be her Instagram.
Yep,
Estefania.
there you go. Yeah, I'm having a problem with my screen frozen, but
okay.
Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Estefania.
Awesome. All right. So let me just check.
An interesting one.
What happened? What happened?
I said she's an interesting one, Captain Kate.
Got it. All right. Just looking through the chat, just making sure.
When will we be seeing price drops? I mean, I think some of them are already out there, especially on the closer end sailings. I mean, I was looking at a cruise right out of Port Canaveral, which is up the road for me, and on a weekend it was like $135.
Oh wow!
That's plus the tax, plus the taxes on there, but that includes the non-commissionable fares. That's entry level cabin, but
got it.
Yeah, and when the ships start, right now they're not sailing, and I think there's some hesitation on when, are they gonna be able to return on the 10th of May, or are they gonna be able to return on the 30th of May? But once they get there, I mean, I do think that, and depending what the demand goes, we'll start seeing some downward pressure on pricing.
Beautiful. Michael Langto asked an interesting question. I know we brought this up a few weeks back. Via an email with Franco Dina. Travel insurance. Do you see that in the future coming? Would people be able to purchase travel insurance with their cruise dollars, anything like that, or not yet?
And we have talked about it with Frank and myself about putting together a proposal with several organizations, several potential vendors for travel insurance. It's quite complex because we are dealing with an international source market, and there's only a couple companies that do that. I did put together a deal with Hotel Beds for insurance shortly before I left there. So I'm looking into that same organization. It's a good one. It's a big one. They cover most of the world. And then we have to, the best way to do that is put it into, integrate it into the cruise booking platform. So when you're in your checkout, you can add travel insurance on there. And then, sure, I mean, using, I can't say for sure Cruise Dollars, but I don't see a reason why we couldn't use Cruise Dollars to fund that as well.
Awesome.
I think that will be the first non-cruise product that we entertain.
Got it. Oh, man.
From a sourcing perspective.
Exciting times. Exciting times. Well, Steve, man, I think that's it. I know you're a busy guy. I'm sure you got to go. And, hey, no dogs in the background today. What happened to the dogs, man?
Yeah, they're quiet. I had some
Awesome.
I had some plumbers in here yesterday, and they were barking up a storm at them.
Oh, okay.
So their work's done now.
Awesome, man. Steve, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. Guys, let Steve have a round of applause. Give him some thumbs up, some flexi arms. Give him some fire symbols there. Let him know how happy we are to have him. Estefania Rico from Spain says thank you. Margaret says thank you, Steve. Troy, awesome. Thank you, Steve, from Judy. Maria Briggs from South Carolina says thank you so much. Joel Talavera from Miami, thank you, Steve. We really appreciate you. These are exciting times, extraordinary times. And when we tell the people of inCruises that when you live in extraordinary times, then you need to be more of an extraordinary type of person. And we want to thank you for being an extraordinary person as well. And we'll see each other soon, my friend.
Thank you. And best of the rest of the day for you, no matter where you are. And
thank you.
One of our cruise line leaders reminds me, wash your hands.
Yes. Wash your hands, everybody. Wash your hands. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Again, my name is Abel Prieto, coming to you live from Miami, Florida, with the great Steve schedule. We'll have more of these webinars coming up soon. Thank you for being here. Always remember to share it on your Facebook pages and groups. Share it on your Instagram. Share it. Sharing is caring. I want to thank you guys for being here, and we'll see each other soon. Thank you. All right. The recording has stopped. Let me just take a look at the chat here. Make sure we're all good to go. Thank you, Somi. Thank you, VJ. You're awesome, man. Estefania, I love you. You're the best. Say hi to Jonathan for me. Barbara. Gracias a ti, Barbara. Gracias. All right. Awesome. Beautiful. All right. All right, everyone. Let's stay focused. Let's stay on it. It's a great month. Take advantage of that power up bonus. Take advantage of those 30 days that our Fast Start Award winners are getting, or future Fast Start Award winners are going to have been given an extra 30 days. We got the power up bonus. I'm doing incentives with my team as well. So stay on it. Stay on it. Beautiful. Catre, thank you, Catre, for being here. Thank you. Awesome. Kawan, thank you. Share it. Sharing is caring. Beautiful. Michael Lankto. Keep growing, man. Keep growing. Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll see each other soon.